The drive-bys were rampant. La Puente was just getting shot to hell. Everybody was doing drive-bys.
And we had 11 murders in 13 days.
Yep, I remember we had good snitches.
My best one was the one who solved 9 murders. We had like 7 convictions on. Got in this big old pursuit, and finally the guy jumps out. He was using a screwdriver for the things. We reach up and we grab him, and he turns around and he just starts stabbing me.
Stabbed you with the screwdriver?
Yeah, but I had the vest on and the plate.
Welcome to the Proper Scoundrel Show.
Ron Duval, thanks for coming back, man.
4th time? You just used me for filler.
Well, somebody the other day said we were just guinea pigs when I first started this. One of the things I want to talk to you about is there are 2 pursuits in one day.
Gosh, it's funny. Is we were up in the north end, and I can't remember what kind of car it was, but this guy pulls out in front of us and takes off. I think he's like on 60th going westbound, and he hit every major cross street without slowing down.
Okay. He was moving.
Hooper, Central,
Whoa.
Avalon, San Pedro.
Just flooring it the whole way?
Figueroa. That never saw brake lights. Just
Whoa.
straight through. And we could see cars passing as he's going right through them. And by the time we catch up to him, he was right there at the freeway, the 110 freeway. And this lady comes out of the house and she said, "Oh, he already jumped over and is running across the freeway."
Oh, shoot.
So Lester Bull was our sergeant.
Lester.
He comes up. We run the plate. It's LAPD stolen. He says, "It's LAPD, so let's leave it." So we left it.
What's the second one?
Still up in the north end. Got in this big old pursuit. And finally the guy, I don't know if he just pulled over. I might have run out of gas or something, but he jumps out. And he was using a screwdriver for the thing. So we reach up and we grab him, and he turns around and he just starts stabbing me with the...
What?
Yeah.
He stabbed you with the screwdriver?
Yeah, but I had the
vest
on and the plate. So it kept stabbing that, and Ed came and tackled him from behind. And
You got stabbed in the chest, and you never told me this.
I didn't think about it till...
How many
Ed
years
brought
we
it up.
sat in the car? I would have heard this story because I've heard them all. How the hell did that happen?
We booked him for attempted murder on a peace officer.
And he got the whole thing?
Yeah, we went to trial on it, and I think he pled out for 245.
That's the thing about you guys. Give me these stories and give me little tidbits. And then you move on to the next story. And everybody who comments me goes, "Hey, I wanted to hear more about whatever you guys were talking
That
about."
was in 1985.
But you guys
remember.
jump because it's so common for you, so familiar with it. You guys think the story's already been said. I don't know half these stories.
Yeah,
But a screwdriver to the chest on attempted murder on a peace officer.
Yeah, it was just a
It's
little.
kind of important.
Just a small. It was just a little.
It doesn't matter. It could have
It did
got you in
tear
the
my
neck,
shirt.
man.
Could have,
He
but
got you in the face. I mean, Jesus.
yeah.
He just went straight for the chest. He was trying to get you in the heart or something.
I don't know. He turned around. He just turned around and
You guys talk about stuff like it's nothing. And I had Ed and I had Guy, and it's all the same mindset. Dale, same thing. Yeah, it's just another day at the office, and everybody's telling me, "Whoa, wait! I want to hear more about that."
what was it? McAndrews in the academy always said be flexible and because he was big on officer survival and stuff like that.
Yeah. But that town, that neighborhood was notorious. There was always something going on. A lot of drugs, a lot of gangs, a lot of just crazy people. I grew up there, so I've said it before. There was a lot of just wild people walking the street.
Yeah. Well, we had all the crazies too. Kojak and
The Chain Man.
the Midnight Skull, the white guy with the red hair that dressed in camis all the time and walked around like he was marching. And he'd come into the lobby, and I'd mess with him by calling on the phone in the lobby.
He'd come in the lobby, and you would call the payphone in the lobby.
In the lobby.
So he'd pick it up, and he'd
answer it. Yeah.
So he didn't know that you were right there talking to
No,
him.
because he can't see. Because remember, it's the two-way glass, so you couldn't see us.
So he'd pick up the phone, and you'd send him to another phone.
Yeah, because it's like a phone booth in the wall.
Yeah.
So, and I'd yell, "Skull, answer that!" And he'd answer it, and you go, "Sheriff's Department,"
You guys have too much time.
I remember putting Vaseline on, moving the seat all the way up, and then they reached down to do the seat, and there's Vaseline on the thing. So where did we used to keep our napkins? In the visors. And pulling a napkin, and it's filled with baby powder, and it just goes all over the certain person.
This got your name all over it. It's got your name all over it because that takes time and planning and a lot of logistics in that, and you have the patience for it. I've watched you work. I don't have
That only took a few minutes to set up.
But just to think about the fact that the guy's going to wipe his hand and put it up in the sun visor, it's going to fall in his face. Nobody thinks of these things, except you.
Can't explain it.
We can have Scahill come and
Idle
explain it to
minds. Idle minds.
you. We'll have idle minds like you had time.
Yeah, well, I challenged Steve to come on. Let's do it together because he could get back at me.
He doesn't know half of the stuff you did to him, though.
Well, he doesn't know I did it, but
Well, he does now, kind of.
yeah, kind of.
I think when we talked to him at the gathering, he seemed like he was surprised by some of the stuff that he said he watched and said, I didn't know that was Ron.
Yeah.
But when you were academy, you remember everything.
We had a guy in our academy class. Last name was Who,
No.
and the DIs used to mess with him all the time. What's your names? What's your name, cadet? And he'd go, Who, sir? And he'd go, You. I'm talking to you. What's your name? Who, sir? And they'd keep going back and forth.
We had a kid that didn't shave. He had that green kind of stubble on his face. But he's the guy that would shave in the morning and have a beard by lunch. So we're doing inspection. He had a little bit of stubble. He's called the staff instructor. Says, "Are you a hippie?" And he goes, "You look like a hippie. Go shave." He goes, "I don't have a razor." So he goes, "Does anybody have a razor?" And it's another recruit named Diaz goes, "I got one." They run in there in the locker room. And they come out. The inspection keeps going on, and then they go back to the guy who shaved. And the instructor goes, "What the hell happened to you?" Dude, he's covered in blood. His whole face is just bleeding. His shirt, his uniform is all blood.
No shaving cream.
No shaving cream. He said, "What the hell happened to you?" They said like 10 other things that were hilarious. But he said, "Sir, I didn't have any shaving cream." He goes, "Oh, my God."
At BC, in the locker room, there was one locker, and they all knew it. The staff all knew it, that was broke, and it didn't lock. So some unfortunate cadet would go put their stuff in it when we go on our runs for PT.
Lock everything.
Comes back, and there's nothing there.
Yeah,
Well,
lock everything.
it locked,
Yeah, but
but it pulled open because it didn't latch.
they knew it.
It was the whole frame that pulled
Yeah.
apart. And they had to stand tall in front of the class and, "Where's your equipment? Why are you still in sweats?" And
They knew it, though. Or you'd come back from lunch, and then they'd walk in with a briefcase,
yeah,
and they would just pick it up, and they would just throw it across the room, and all the shit would fly out of it, and it'd land on the floor because you didn't lock your briefcase. Yeah. But you see the briefcase, and everybody looked.
they were looking to make sure it's not there.
Is it mine? And it goes flying. I mean, all this shit everywhere.
Well, our ramrod was Mahone,
Oh,
and he would lay into people. And he'd always go and find the people that shared a towel. Like somebody would forget their towel.
Oh.
And he'd pull them up in the front of the class, and he'd say, "Whose towel is it?" "Mine." He says, "So you dried off and you gave it to him, right?" He says, "Yeah." And then he would say, "Everybody look at these people. These are your partners." He goes, "The last place he dried was his." And he goes, "The first place you dried was your face." He goes, "Did you want his in your face?"
what year?
And we're
is
all
this?
trying.
What year? What year?
Like beginning of '83.
Oh my God, they could get away with that. I love it.
Oh yeah. Back then it was high stress, which produced better cops. Now it's you can't say nothing to them. They get breaks in between stuff.
They can ride the bike if they don't feel like running.
I'm stressed. I don't feel like running today.
I don't feel like running. I can ride the bike and I don't have to jump the wall anymore.
What? They don't even jump the walls anymore?
It's a score now. So it's not, you have to pass all the obstacles. If you don't pass one and do the other ones, you can get a score.
No, it was, you ran the obstacle course
Mhm.
and you had a time limit.
Mm-hmm. That was it. And there was no skateboard that tape on the wall so you could get some footing. That's what they put on it now. It's got some kind of like sandpaper so you can put your foot on it sticks.
Wow.
It was wet in the morning and he would slip, but you get over it. They paid I think it was, I forgot what obstacle course would. They couldn't get over the wall, so they built like a dirt ramp. So you get another 2 feet so you can get over the wall. Yeah, they're going to have a ramp at every wall when you're running through the neighborhood, right?
Yeah. Or stop. Hey, where's the ramp?
Yeah, and where's the grip tape on the wall, How did you get so many snitches?
Just treat them right.
You had a lot of snitches, man. You had a lot of snitches. I remember you had good snitches, though.
My best one was the one who solved 9 murders. We had like 7 convictions off him.
How was it that you recruited? Just asking them, or when you had a case on them? Or how did you work them? How did you make them snitches?
I don't know. I'd hold a case over their head, but
No, but they would give you stuff when they didn't have a case.
right.
They were calling you when they were just at home.
Yeah. Well, it's because I treated them right, you know. Like the station would do little like food banks and stuff like that. I'd hook them up
Really?
and hook them up.
You get calls just because, hey,
Yeah.
I got something. There's a gun here. There's a gun there. Like he's riding on his own gang.
Yeah. But just certain guys that family members would go to jail, or they'd go to jail and they'd say, hey, you know, take care of my family. So Johnny Hines and I would actually go out and get them groceries and stuff like that, and,
Oh, yeah.
and get diapers for their thing. But we'd get them donated,
Oh, okay.
you know.
But they just saw that you were helping them out.
They saw that we were treating them right.
No, I'm talking murders, guns. I don't know. I watched you do it, Ronnie. It was awesome. It was awesome. I learned a lot from that. Because I never moved a snitch. I never paid for anything, but I had a lot. And that was my thing. Is like a lot of guys were moving them and paying their rent and paying them, you know, that kind of stuff. I never paid.
Yeah.
Never.
I never really paid either. I would just treat them right,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And then when I took them to jail, I told them why I took them to jail. And
Didn't
at the
t-
end, they're like, I said, well, what would you have done? He said, I'd have taken me to jail too. You know?
I learned a lot from you.
And then,
That was it.
and most of the time, if we're out on a scene, I'd see the gangsters that I knew, and I'd just casually walk by and I'd say, who am I looking for? You know, and they would say, like, read the wall.
Mm-hmm. I remember that too. That's not a common thing though, Ronnie. You act like it's nothing. Yeah, but I've seen both. I've seen where no one talks to you, and I've seen everyone talk to you. I've watched where guys are unapproachable or make themselves unapproachable and they don't get shit. They have to work harder, a lot harder, or they don't solve nothing. You have to talk to the people and you have to make them want to talk to you. Sometimes it's force or you have something over their head. Sometimes it's just because they trust you. And then you grew up close to those neighborhoods, they kind of trust you more because you can talk like them.
Well, remember, because I was born in La Puente
That's
right
what I'm
there.
talking about.
And they were calling me, you know, the dude from the street, you know, from the neighborhood, you know. That's
Mhm.
the guy from the neighborhood. So
I remember we were working that wire, and I've said this on the show before. Working a wire is where you really learn if you're doing it right or wrong. Because we were working the wire together on Whitehead, me and you,
yeah,
and Miley, right?
yeah, that was his case.
And Brian Stein won. You think you got all the answers. You're a cop. You're driving a car. You're taking people to jail. You're getting guns. You're solving cases. But until you hear a wire, you hear them talking about you on a wire. You really don't know if you're if you're having an effect. But that wire is almost like cheating, because when we were out there, we were the wall stop or we did something crazy. We would hear them on the wire because the wire room would call us, like, and tell me or you, hey, they're talking about you guys. They're saying that you're over here on this street. They're saying you're over here on that street. And they would lie. Like say, well, I just ran from Duval and Cordova. I'm like, we didn't go out today. But they were using us as street cred.
Yeah.
You know, because they're saying that they were getting over on us to make themselves look better in front of their gangs.
Yeah, 'cause remember when we were up in Azusa, they were talking about, hey, that's not our area. What are they up here for? Why are in the Azusa?
Why that's not their area. But they thought they would hide up in Azusa and do things. They were starting to do a lot of stuff. We knew the area because we had some family members there. But we knew that. We were everywhere we weren't supposed to know about. But just the way they talked about you and talked about the way we were just patrolling, they would say, oh, we're staying in tonight. Why? Because they saw Duval and Cordova drive through the neighborhood.
You know, my best one was somebody that I actually knew from when I lived there. And later, as he got older and he had kids, and he was one of the founders of Hurley Street, and,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and
I remember. We go visit. And I mean, you knew a lawyer from your dad. I mean, there's a lot of connection there, and that you used it, though, instead of just,
I was talking to somebody yesterday about the relationships we had with the defense attorneys because they knew us and respected us. And I talked about, you know, my favorite one was John Tyre because at the beginning of this case, he'd say, he goes, I'm going to get you today. You know, I'm going to get you today. And I'd figure a way to get around it. And and stuff. But remember when we go to Pomona and we be in the filing court where they're sending all the cases out, and we'd be all sitting in the box waiting for our case to get sent out. And I'd see him over there, and he'd come in and he'd do the 2 or he'd go 5. Did I want 2 tickets or 5 tickets to the Kings game? Because he was an off-ice NHL official with the Kings for over 20 years.
Yeah.
He was usually the guy in the box, the penalty box.
Remember, he gave me Dodger tickets or something else, too. Like, that guy was hated by cops.
Tire?
Oh,
Yeah,
hated. And then when we hit that certain gang over there, and we found pictures, and like, oh man, he's tied up. I'm not saying he's doing anything corrupt, but he's close.
He called me one day because I forgot who I was talking to. It might have been. And he goes, yeah, we got John Tire. He kicks your guy's butt. And I'm like, I go, what are you talking about? I go, John and I have lunch all the time. He's a good friend. We go to barbecues together. He calls me and goes, don't be talking like that to them. It's not true. And
Those
these
are the
guys
pictures.
don't want to deal with me anymore.
They were all at his office, and he's having a barbecue for them.
Yeah.
The whole group. So he's basically on retainer for the local criminals.
Yeah.
So
A certain gang.
Yeah, a certain gang, and it's not a disputed thing. I mean, we got pictures of him hanging out with him having barbecues at his office. That's fine. You can do that. That's your job if that's your job. So don't act like you're going to play both sides. We know what side you're on.
Yeah.
But he was hated by guys.
Hey, it was just his, rewards day for his customers.
I know. I get it. It's like when a local towing company buys us sandwiches, Someone just got in trouble too, by the way. Who was it?
Well, remember the Korean Grocers Association used to come in twice a year with a huge spread for every shift.
Yeah. Just giving back. The community is giving back. And just a couple of sandwiches or a taco person. So did you hear about, not Atlantic, South LA, where they're charging for parking?
What?
I was going to ask you. I just heard it.
I
I'm
haven't
trying to
heard that.
confirm. I'm trying to confirm it. Someone was saying, a lot of people are saying that they're charging deputies to park at South LA Station.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Same thing.
You'd think ALADS would fight that, but ALADS is in bed with the sheriff and the board of supervisors.
Yep.
They don't give a darn about deputies anymore.
No. The way they jumped on that endorsement without a debate is despicable.
Oh, for lunatic?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You just destroyed how many years of precedence? You don't do that without at least one debate.
Yeah.
You just threw yourself out there like everyone's going to just get in line. I mean, that's not the way you do it. Everybody knows it. Yeah. It was obvious. And then somebody was saying that they ran out of toilet paper.
Yeah.
Say, what the heck's going on over there?
Yeah, well, lunatic's the board of supervisors puppet,
Yeah.
He's their lackey. Not like Sheriff Block, who would confront them and say, hey, I'm an elected official too. And if I recall, I had more votes than all of you together, know. And the only other person to stand up to him was Villanueva.
Yeah.
Alex was the only one that stood up to him. And that's why they gave him all the shit they gave him.
Mm-hmm. Well, he tried to do what's right, and what's right is two different departments. You have your board of supervisors, and we're a sheriff's department. We do law enforcement. You do city council, city government. But you're trying to step over and take over both. Mm-hmm. And Alex was just trying to keep it the way it's supposed to be, keeping them with a separation of powers. Mm-hmm. And whether you like Alex or not, that's what he was trying to do. And now the problem is this guy is LAPD chief of police, and he's doing whatever they tell him to do. And everybody knows it. It's not even a hidden thing. But if you can get that much power, and the board of supervisors has that much power over the county, and they have that much power over basically making their own little police force, what are they doing for the people in the streets? They're not doing anything. They're just trying to consolidate their own power, and the people in the streets are the ones suffering. Yeah. Well, you can see what he's doing. He's not doing anything. The guys are reluctant to make T-stops. They're reluctant to go to make any kind of proactive stops.
From what all the guys tell me is and that's what I came up with the name lunatic. They're telling me that's what they call him.
Oh, that's what they call him.
And that, he didn't come up through the ranks, so he has no idea how we do things and how we've always been the best sheriff's department in the country. So I always think of him as a backdoor sheriff. Mm-hmm. He went to Long Beach. So there's two reasons. Either he couldn't pass our tests or he was afraid to become a sheriff, to work the streets. So he goes to Long Beach, but he doesn't make chief there right away. They bring in one of our last sheriffs, McDonald, from LAPD to be chief of police of Long Beach because they had that much faith in him that they didn't make him chief then. Lunatic.
Well, I heard that he was in line to be the next chief of Long Beach. They brought in McDonald, circumvented him, said, no, you're not going to be the chief because they didn't want him because they didn't think he'd do the job. They didn't have confidence in him, so he didn't get the job. So they bypassed him with McDonald. McDonald runs over for more money in LA Sheriffs, loses that. But then he goes back to LAPD. Now he says, okay, I'm going to help you come over to the sheriffs. So because McDonald's been pushing for Luna to come over.
Yeah.
So Luna's a big fanboy of Gascon. So
okay.
this is a little circle right
That's
here.
all you need to say right there.
Yeah. So this same guy that couldn't make it at Long Beach is now the sheriff of LA County with the help of McDonald. And now, so McDonald's pretty much still got his hand in both pots. He's probably still got a hand over there in Long Beach. And I'm going to tell you, when he was our sheriff and I was doing my job, hell no. So a lot of things happened that shouldn't have happened. And he's still LAPD, fine. He's good at LAPD. He knows that department. But this department over here, somebody the other day said, oh, LA has LA City. LA sheriffs have the county, 4,000 square miles, plus the jails, plus the courts, plus all the transportation, all these places, and all the patrol stations. Arrow, dogs, SWAT, with the same amount of people as LAPD has. There's no way that should be even a comparison. Yeah. But they get the money and we get what? A guy who doesn't even know what he's doing?
And his big concern was changing our keepers and
McBuckles.
And our buckles. And
McBuckles. When I did walk up and give my buckles ordered to get new buckles, I thought it's over.
Well, he came to Homicide and gave us a briefing or a talk, and he wanted the uniforms to be more uniform, which I agree. You know, OSS, when they started in the 70s, were the ones that had the green raid jackets.
Mm-hmm.
And then next, you know, all these specialized units and station level units started wearing green jackets, then green shirts, then the white shirts, and then yellow shirts and blue shirts.
Yeah.
And then they start wearing their vest over the top and stuff like that. So I understand that. But when gangsters went to jail, they always asked for the green jackets. And I brought that up to him, and he says, well, we'll just have to retrain them. I'm like thinking, see, you never really worked the streets, you know.
I heard he was mad that the crash thing happened and they lost their gang unit. And he wanted to just basically take away OSS and take away the sheriff's gang unit, which people have written books from LAPD talking about how OSS was the standard. How it was. Operation Safe Streets Bureau was the standard that LAPD wanted to be when they started their stuff. Well, this guy's got this. He had a problem with it. He had a problem with OSS. He had a problem with our gang unit because LAPD lost basically crash. And they have an issue with they don't know how to consolidate homicide and robbery. Homicide and robbery are two different things, man. Homicide should be alone. Robbery should be alone. Everything has a piece of, we're going to do this and that. They don't make one unit for one thing.
Right.
They like to consolidate. That's why when I was at Tech Ops was Tech Ops. One shop. You guys want your stuff, you want bug, you got to come here. LAPD, every unit has a little bit of everything. And they all have their own little tech groups.
Even their stations, like a friend of mine is a captain at one of LAPD stations. He's the patrol captain. They have an admin and an investigative captain. I'm like, they got too many.
What, he can't do it?
Exactly.
One captain can't do it. Just like when Baca got in trouble and he was doing this thing with 3 sergeants on every floor, 2 sergeants on every floor at CJ, or 2 captains at CJ. What captain is in charge? What captain is not good enough to do it by himself?
Right.
It's one place, one station. Why do you have 2 captains? You have a sergeant on 2 sergeants on every floor. Right. There's not enough for 1 sergeant to do. That's all there is to it. You work the jails for a minute. There isn't enough for 1 sergeant. Yeah. And they just kept throwing brass our supervisors, thinking what's that gonna stop? It didn't do anything, but just take away from patrol deputies.
Yeah. I still don't understand why they promote in custody. You know, they've never been to patrol. They're never patrol certified. So you make a guy, he's a commander in the jail, but he decides he wants to go to patrol finally. When he goes to patrol, he's back to a deputy. And he's on training. And then he's got to work his way up again.
You've heard me scream from this microphone, man. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard, and I say it straight out. Here's my issue is, The deputies in the jail seem to be getting in trouble for stuff that they shouldn't be getting in trouble for, and nothing they've done wrong. It's not that they've done anything wrong. It's just now they have to write a report and give it to a sergeant who's never been to patrol. He's never been to patrol. Now he's approving this force. It's just let's say he trained. Okay, I can sign these reports. I'm a trained signer. A young deputy writes a report on his force, and he gives it to a guy who's never been to patrol. And then he goes, okay, I think it's good. And he walks over to the lieutenant. Lieutenant's never been to patrol. Okay, and he signs it off. It goes back down. Who's going to get in trouble? The deputy. Mm-hmm. And maybe the sergeant get talked to, but the deputy's probably not know what they're doing. They're filing on these guys. So you can pretend that you have bars. You can pretend you have stripes. You can even pretend that you have stars. But when the job needs to be done, you have to know that job. There's no pretending. So who's getting hurt, it trickles down, it's going to be the deputy. That's what we're seeing, these guys getting filed on the dumbest shit. Yeah. The dumbest shit. I'm so pissed off at what they did to Trevor and what they've been doing to these guys. Yeah. It's just ridiculous. And someone should fix it. And then the people with power should be listening to this saying, well, how can we fix it? Because it's wrong. You can't say those boys did anything wrong. You can't.
Right.
Because you go by policy and training. Those are policy. Taking down and pepper spraying is probably the second or third day in academy. Yeah. What do they tell you to do when someone gets out of control? Take them down. Yeah. The safest place to take somebody is to the ground.
Right.
We're always trained, grab them, take them to the ground, because you can control them better on the ground. That's the fact. So you're trained to take them to the ground, and if they're still fighting, pepper spray them, right? Or you have to fight, start punching, you punch. You gotta control them, whatever it takes. Pepper spray and takedown is being filed on? Yeah. Where's our AOT that says this is what we train them to do? And where is the body that's prosecuting them saying, well, they're being trained to do that? How are they going to jail for this stuff? This is 101. How many times do you take someone down in the jail? I mean, in the jail all the time. Because standing and fighting like a boxer, or we're going to duke it out right here, that's not going to happen. You get hurt standing like that. You want to take them to the ground as fast as possible. You want more guys, maybe 5 guys, take them to the ground, handcuff them, it's done.
At least you can hold them on the ground till you get help. But they don't. That's my biggest issue is these.
Killing me.
I don't mind deputies wanting to stay in the jail because there's real deputies that want to go to patrol and do work. And if you want to sit in the jail and babysit inmates all day, then go to the Department of Corrections or, you come and you work there. But I don't argue with them about that. I don't hold it against them if you want to be in a jail. But I still say they should go to patrol, learn how to write paper, learn how to deal with people, because these guys are coming from the streets. So if they're out there learning on the streets how they act and what they say and what they do, they're better deputies in the jail.
The TOs in the streets are going to teach you how to write paper better than anybody in the whole planet. That's why when you go to patrol, you get that TO. He's teaching you how to save your job, how to write reports in a way that you can keep your job and explain your actions the right way, where lawyers and judges and everybody sees what you did, because it's always policy. If you don't go out to patrol and you just don't have that experience, you're never going to have that confidence to be able to get yourself out of trouble. You're just not, man. You're just not. And here's my issue is that when guys go, okay, I don't want to go patrol, I'm going to stay in the jails, I don't want you in patrol either.
Right.
If you don't want to go patrol, I don't want you patrol either. But my issue is when let's just say Alex wins, the first thing he should do is he should start some type of incentive or program to get these guys to go on ride-alongs. And not with anyone.
Right.
A specific deputy in the field that does ride-alongs. And start trying to train these guys. Because you know what, man? If you got a scared guy that doesn't really want to go out there, isn't scared, reluctant person that's in the jails right now.
Scared.
Okay.
Call it what it is.
Goes to patrol.
Guy that stays in custody the whole career is a coward.
Okay.
And I'm going to get a lot of crap for that, but it's the truth. They're
Okay.
lazy pieces of shit that just stay in the jail.
Okay. That's for you, Ronnie, and I get it. He doesn't want to go to patrol. If you get a deputy that's out there in the field to kind of explain to him what it is and train him a little bit, or you get somebody that goes, if you're that guy that you just say, scared coward, doesn't want to go out. He goes to get with the guy that doesn't want a trainee, doesn't want to ride along. What's he going to do to him? he's going to mess with them all night long.
Right.
And now he's never coming out to patrol. And I get both sides. What I'm saying is, if you get a person out there who has the patience to get dude, I'm going to say it. I hated getting ride-alongs because you
Right.
can't do your job because I don't know this kid.
Plus, you're looking out for them
I'm
because they
watching
don't know
him
what they're doing.
I don't know him. I don't know if he even knows how to fire a gun. I have no idea if he can back me up. I don't know how he'll be in a fight. I have no idea. So I don't want it. We never wanted ride-alongs. And these kids are trying to come out young men are trying to come out to be cops. So if you picked on them or you treated them like crap, it's kind of stopping them from wanting to go to patrol. So maybe if they did something where a specific person out there was the ride-along guy who almost recruited them to come out. Because if you don't stop that or you don't fix that, you have, like 214, you have to go to patrol.
Right.
That's what's going to be the problem. These guys are going to get fat, rich,
Right.
and lazy. And that's a fact.
The 17th week, they came in and told us that starting with your class, it's mandatory patrol. You don't pick a station, you pick a region. And we went to lunch, and like 6 or 7 didn't come back from lunch.
Whoa.
They quit.
They were expecting to stay?
They quit. 17th week.
Damn.
They had one more week to go to graduate.
They said
and
no.
they didn't know, I don't want to go to patrol.
Even though they knew that's what the job was.
Well, isn't that why you hired on? That's what I hired on.
You said it, man.
You
You said it. That's the only reason I joined. There's no way. And I hated the jails.
Oh, I hated it too.
I hated it.
And I only did like 10 months and 2 weeks.
Oh, my God. Driving to the jail, even going in the parking lot, I dreaded it, dude.
That scent.
Oh,
That scent
I'd
coming out of the jail.
walk through the Sally Port, the main control, and I'm like, you could just smell that. This is not where I want to be.
But when I was there, they still could smoke.
Yeah,
and,
they could smoke.
And
They stopped smoking I think, 2 months after I got to the jails. And you know what happened then. They started beating the hell out of each other because now they can't smoke.
Right.
Everybody's getting shanked, those fights all day long. And we were always doing extractions because now they can't have their cigarette.
and back to the ride, I didn't mind a ride along if I could tell that he was kind of squared away. I remember having a ride along, and early mornings on Firestone if we had 11 tags, that was a busy night. That's why we were the king of ops, because we were out taking people to jail, because anybody out at that time of night is dirty.
Yeah.
And I did a 2.5-page log. It was busy. We were going from call to call to call. They even kept some of the PM guys over because it was so busy. And I remember just taking this kid. Oh, this was a kid from the academy. And looking over him, and then I just looked at him and I apologized. I said, "Hey, I'm really sorry. This was a bad ride for you." And he looks at me and he's like, "What?" And I go, "It was slow tonight. It was so slow." And he's like, because
he ran
driving
back.
around. He's driving around with the whole time because we're going from call to call to call. I mean, flooring it.
And you're telling him it's slow.
245s, stabbings, 211s now. And at the end of the night, you just go, "I'm sorry, it was slow." Because he was, well, remember, starting from the academy, you hear Firestone, and you're like scared of that. Not so much of the area of your TOs and stuff, that they're really demanding, they're really strict with you. And that has a reason, because it was a bad area, a violent area. You grew up there. And just this kid, he was kind of scared. And we went out, we had a great ride because he was like, "Wow, this is the greatest. This is so fun." And then I just remember going, "I apologize." So, he goes back to the academy. And these guys are talking about, I was over here at Christina Valley. We got a deuce, And Lomita, we had a prowler call. And he's going, "We went to 245s. We had robberies. We had burglaries in progress. We had deputy involved in some fight." And at the end of the night, he apologized. It was, we did all this stuff, and it was busy as hell. And he apologized that it was a slow night. I'm driving home still up like that, going, "Wow, that was a great night."
Yeah.
I remember nights like that, I start driving home, and I'm still going like pedal to the metal. And I realized, wait a minute, I'm on my way home.
Got power down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was so good that, like, when Ed and I worked, or even Copeland and myself and Wilkinson or Rich Lopez, if it was a busy night and we were working a PM shift, we stayed out. We kept rolling the calls.
Yeah.
We didn't just go in. We just stayed out because it was fun.
Yeah.
We were helping out. And then, we got off at either 10 or 11. And then all of a sudden, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning and you hear 11 p.m.'s code 1, and you're like, we're on overtime now.
Yeah.
Because we were still out there.
Yeah.
So, but we stayed out there anyway.
Yeah.
It was just
Fun.
It was fun.
Yeah. That's a fun most people don't understand, but that fun is. Oh.
They don't understand. There's an active shooter. Everybody's running away, and we're excited, and we're flooring it to get there.
I talked about active shooters where you're knocking each other down trying to get in the room. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
And I remember, like we had a really good relationship with our South LA chippies because we put out 4 cars during PMs, 3 on days, 3 on earlies.
Mm-hmm.
And if we were lucky, we had an overlap or 2. And back then, chippies all had scanners set to our frequencies, so we could actually direct them, and we'd use them on containments. They'd help us out.
Damn.
We had such a great relationship with them. We did parties. They came to ours. We went to theirs. Even our local fire stations, we did route trips, and they came with us. Because it was so close-knit. And I go to other stations, and, well, first off, you're in there booking, and you hear somebody either in pursuit or asking for assistance, and you see guys, like, looking up at the speaker, and they're listening, and they're hearing the radio, and they're like, oh, okay, they got enough cars going. No. I see chippies on a stop, and we used to back up each other up all the time, and I go to other stations, and I see chippies there, and I'm like, hey, you're going to stop? That's just chippies. No, that's your backup too.
Why is that wrong to you?
Because we
I understand. I understand it, but you have to explain. You have to explain what that means. Because we had a radio in OSS. Always, there's always a radio, and it's always loud. And you could be writing reports or writing a warrant. And that thing went off. Everybody went out the door.
Everybody.
And you didn't wait to see what it was. You just heard someone. You heard like general area, and you took off. There's not even a doubt.
Even as trainees, our shift is over. We're still in the trainee report writing room because you're there like 6 to 7 hours later, still writing reports. Handwritten reports.
Yeah.
And we were off, but we left our uniforms on because if we heard that, the trainees would jump in a car and we'd roll. Even if they put a code 4 out, we drove by so they'd see us.
Mm-hmm.
So they knew, hey, we were there.
You didn't write in your civvies. You didn't show up.
No.
You put on your uniform and you left it on until you were driving home. Right. Some guys drove home with it on because you would go out. You might have, like you said, 3-4 hours still riding. You're going to go out and you just jump in a car. You didn't care what car it was.
Right.
Sometimes it's a civilian car. You just went out.
Yeah, the DB cars, you just jump in them.
And there'd be 4 or 5 people in every car because you didn't wait in the station. You didn't want to be that guy in the station when everybody came back.
Right.
Because you'd get looked at like, dude, where were you? It's because sometimes you need that many people. And I remember we would get in the car, we'd be driving to something, and because we heard it on our scanner, the radio, and we chasing each other, blocking traffic, doing all that stuff, and we'd help out the patrol guys, and patrol guys expected it. I remember all the time. But what the purpose of that, the biggest perk from that was, you could talk to the gangster when he was in the back seat.
Right.
On a, Victor or whatever, a stolen car, and you caught him. And if he was in the back seat of a patrol car, that's the best time to interview him.
Right.
Not when he gets back to the station and he's talked to his buddy, he's got the phone. When he's just got caught and he's in the back seat. That's the gift.
And I've had wireless mics forever that I would keep there. And I had my little pack and I had it hooked to my recorder so I could just walk away and not even listen to them. Or if I wanted to, I'd plug in and listen. And it'd be great. Hey, there's stuff over here, there's stuff over there, because they're talking. Did you hide it? Yeah, it's
you're never going to find it. He's never going to.
Then
find
they
it.
see us walking. We're like, how did they find that? Not knowing that they gave it to us.
They gave it up.
Working with Tim Kane was the best because here he is. He's this white boy with these light-colored eyes, and he was sitting there and act like he's writing, and they would be talking Spanish. Tim is fluent in Spanish, and he would just be sitting there and taking notes, listening to them talking Spanish, thinking that this white boy doesn't know nothing.
That's Bernard Weston, black guy. Knew Spanish better than most people I know.
Mm.
And he would do that. They'd start talking, he'd come back, it's over here. They did that. They did this. They hit it over there. Sweet.
Fortunately for me, I had I had Axel Anderson as my is my TO. That's my daddy. He retired as a captain. I went to Zagurski after that because Axel went to the academy staff, and he became the PT animal for the North and South academies.
As a stud.
And then I had Jim Harrell for eval. I don't know if I told you that story where, Jim back then, before he went to SAB, he wasn't lifting weights. He was smoking cigarettes.
Yeah. He said, I'm going to get in shape.
And then, but we'd go to remember at Firestone Compton, there was that, I think it was a Shell station.
Yeah.
He'd go there, and if they were going to give him a discount on the cigarettes, he'd get them. But if they weren't, he'd reach for his pocket, and I was supposed to hit the horn or something like that. Hey, we got to go. And I'll be back, and we'd take off. So after he signed me off on evaluation, so I was off training now, he's there and he's doing this. He's reaching for his back pocket. And he's reaching. He's going like this. And he looks back at me, and I'm just going. Like Roy Burns. I knew Roy from the jail. And he was already at Firestone when I got there. So I'm walking by my first briefing, and I walk in, and he goes, like he's going to say, hey. I go, hey, Roy. And he goes, who the fuck are you talking to, trainee? And I'm just going, tail between my legs, and walk into the locker room. And Axel was at training for 2 days. I had to ride with him, and I'm like, my first month there, we're still trying to get used to the radio, and he's got a scanner on the cage right behind me, and I'm not listening to this. I'm worried about calls for me and our station, because it was multiple stations on frequencies,
Yeah.
like it was us on Linwood. But if the RTO was monitoring 3 or 4 frequencies, you were hearing stuff for like 5, 6, 8 stations, and you're trying to listen to that, Firestone 11, Firestone 12. Okay, it's the buzzer.
Your people, yeah.
And I'm totally focused on it, trying to keep my log up, working on a report. And apparently this LAPD, there's that little squawk, beep, beep, and it's attention all units or something like that. And it was a broadcast for a 211 vehicle, last seen eastbound on Manchester from like Avalon. I'm barely learning RRD, I don't know where Avalon is. I didn't know Firestone turns into Manchester on the other side into LAPD's area. And so he goes to me, so trainee, he goes, did you copy that call? And I go, what call? I'm looking at our radio. And he goes, LAPD just put out a broadcast. And I go, okay. And he goes, it's a 211 vehicle, armed 211, last seen eastbound on Manchester from Avalon. I go, great. Where's that? And I can see he's getting pissed at me. And he goes, oh, great. He goes, Manchester turns into Firestone. Avalon's the next major west of Central. He goes, that car's going to come into here. We're going to stop it without realizing it's a 211 vehicle, armed 211 vehicle. They're going to get out. What are you going to tell my pretty wife when I'm dead? And I go, well, Roy, I know your wife, and I might ask her out. Because I was pissed. And he starts punching me in the car. Bam, bam, bam. So, and I said one day, I go, if he gets on me, I go, you know what? He's being a dick and this and that. And I'm like, I was so pissed. I go, you know what? I go, I'll call him out. He's going to kick my ass because he's a bad dude.
He's a big dude, yeah.
And he's a bad dude. I go, but at least I'll earn his respect for that. But then he was on vacation.
Yeah.
He comes back, and I'm booking somebody. He comes walking in. He's working early. I was on PMs at the time. And he comes walking in, and he goes, hey, training, what are you doing? I go, fuck you, Roy Burns. And he goes, Ronnie, you're off training. Congratulations. Because he knew right then and there I was off. But it was earned. They talk about hazing. Hazing has a purpose in the military and what we do, because you have to learn how to deal with situations under stress, and they coddle these kids now, and they worry about their feelings, I don't want to offend him. I don't want to
Yeah, because nobody in the field is going to offend you.
Right.
Or get in your face or call you names.
Right.
Or even stress you out.
And now you got these First Amendment auditors that got these cameras, and they're just walking up to you and putting their cameras in your face and stuff, and there's really nothing you do because it's the First Amendment. They have the right to. If you're in public,
Yeah,
they have the right to do it.
that's fine.
But most people can't handle that. I love watching videos of that where you see these people. Why are you filming me? I'm not approved. And he goes, I don't care. And they become Karens.
Yeah. There's all of that, and there's a lot of that, but the stress and the hazing. It's not even. I don't even call it hazing because that makes it sound like it's something that you're just doing for fun. Sometimes guys get jerks, but become jerks. But a lot of it's just stress, trying to put stress on you. And I've said this many times. Like, where else in the world would you get out of a car and all hell's breaking loose and you're in charge?
Yeah.
You're in charge. Let's say shooting on the corner or whatever. You get out of the car, you're first there. Or let's just say you were there, block away. You don't wait for someone to roll in or you just roll up on it. Everyone's looking to you to take care of that. And they're screaming, yelling, blood, all kinds of crazy shit going on. You don't know where the suspect's at. You're trying to save yourself.
You don't even know what's going on.
You have no idea. People running up on you, you don't know if they're bad or good. And you have to handle that. No, you can't just get in your car and drive away. You can't just say, oh, give me a minute, let me think about this.
All right.
So that's what the stress is. That's why the Stress Academy worked. That's why the high stress back in your days was needed. And you saw as it goes away. Some people can handle stress, some people can't. I've seen people crack. I'm sure you have too.
Yeah.
Where they just don't perform under the stress. And that's lack of training to me.
It is.
And that's shame on the staff because my staff they're honest. But I've seen what's going on now and I see what's happening. And I think it's not going to be known, but you're going to see people getting hurt just through attrition. It's going to you're taking away what's going to keep them safe, basically.
You have a sheriff that doesn't support them. They're hesitant to take action anyway, and it's going to cost lives. That split-second hesitation, okay, is the sheriff going to tell them to file on me if I shoot this guy? And even though IA clears it, he thinks, oh, you know what, this is going to give me more political cred. Let's prosecute this guy.
Well, if his thinking is, oh, I don't want them to get into shootings. Well, I don't want them to use force. Well, I'm going to make them be hesitant. Now they have to write a report every time they put somebody in the back seat. Every time they stop a car. Every time they do an OBS, they have to write some report. I'm going to stop them from doing those things so I don't have to deal with the problems that come from those things.
Right.
But the problem that they could have solved might have been something more important, like making OBSs, getting guns, finding people that aren't supposed to be with certain people. Those are how you do stops. That's why you do stops. Him saying, or his people saying, if we can reduce the amount of stops, we can reduce the amount of complaints. And I can get my next election. I could get my next promotion because the sheriff's happy because I helped him get a promotion. So he's going to promote me. We stay out of trouble. We get promoted. We all get a bunch of money and we look good. But who's hurting?
Yeah.
The people in the streets, the neighborhoods.
And people say, why, you stopped at stereotype. No, think about it being a parent. You walk into a room and your kid gives you that look. He's up to no good. That's the same look with people that are dirty, that are driving, they're carrying guns, they got dope. You see it. You just see that little eye movement, that little panic in their face, and there's got something. You stop it, and sure enough, you get a gun, you get drugs, you get something, warrants.
Yep.
But it's that look, and it's also instinct. You
lot of it.
know what you're looking for. So if we can't stop cars, how do you prevent crime?
That's what I'm saying.
They want us to be a presence. Well,
that's what I'm talking about. Is it makes them happy. People say, well, they want to work. Cops want to work, but he doesn't want them to work. Well, the reason why is it keeps them out of trouble. It's all political. It's for political gain. It's not for keeping the community safe. Because the only one's hurting is the community, like we talked about. But if you were to go, let's look at the stats for the last year or two. And let's look at the ones during my time and your time. How many guns did we get? How many kidnappings victims did we find? How many trafficking did we find? How many bad things did we find? What are the stats now, then, and here? Mm-hmm. The gun confiscation or guns taken off the street has to be nothing now compared to the 90s.
80s.
80s, 90s, and early 2000s. Or the 2000s even. You could say, let's look at those numbers. There's no way you're saying there's no more guns. You're just saying you're not getting those guns anymore. And what are those guns doing? They're hurting people. So for your political gain, you're sacrificing the people. That's all there is to it. Because if you tell cops just do the job, they will do the job right. You can't just stop cars. You have to have probable cause.
Right.
And when they don't have a license, now the car belongs to me. It's not registered over so many days, the car belongs to me. Now I can search it. You have to go through these steps. You can't just grab some mom and pop going to church on Sunday and just take everything from them. And we're not stopping people that look like they're going to be okay. Because I have to evaluate every stop. I have to see every car. I have to look at what's a good stop and what's a bad stop. And that's what we're trained to do.
And apply spirit or the letter of the law.
A lot of people go home. A lot of people don't get anything.
I had stopped store owners, especially the liquor store owners, and they've got a gun on him. I know he's not. The gun's not. He doesn't have a CCW permit. The gun's registered to him. Because I'll always run the gun to see if it's his. But he's a businessman. He's got a whole lot of money in his car. No, get out of here. Be safe.
Mm-hmm.
He's making his deposits.
Yep. How many times you stopped the newspaper delivery man?
Yeah, right.
Everyone stops the newspaper delivery man.
He's hauling butt, making
He's
his deliveries.
hauling ass through the neighborhood at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Get out of here. Get
and
out of here.
You see it go by. You go, shit, there you go. He just did a drive-by. He just did something crazy. And you chase it, and the cars, or you see the car full of newspapers. You're like, God damn it. Because it looks like a great stop. But we don't willy-nilly just grab people. We're using our experience. I'm in a certain neighborhood. I'm looking for a certain car. There's certain gangs. I know most of these gangsters. You stopped them. We knew them by first name, last name, and monikers. There he is again. Now he's in the back seat trying to hide from but his girlfriend's driving. They do all that stuff. And that was the fun part of the job. But we got a lot of good stuff. We got a lot of bad people off the streets, and we took a lot of guns off the streets. The drive-bys were rampant. Remember, La Puente was just getting shot to hell. Everybody was doing drive-bys.
And we had 11 murders in 13 days.
Yep. So you want us to go, don't stop the car where you know that gangster is from the neighborhood that's suspected of being the ones who shot at that kid and killed someone. Well, I can't stop him because what? Not supposed to? Yeah. I'm supposed to look the other way.
Yep.
There he goes. And he's the guy that everybody's looking at for the shooting. Just let him go.
Yep. Or these people that want to defund the cops. I say, make a list, and if you call for service, we don't go. We're not going to spend money on you because you don't want to spend the money. So you want them to take it away. So.
Yeah, you want to take away everybody's protection.
And the one thing I don't see or hear about anymore is a reasonable cause arrest.
I know.
You have reasonable cause to believe a crime may or may not have been committed, but there's enough evidence there to suggest it.
That's what Mike Borman said. What, RC Cola?
Right.
I don't know what it is. What is it? Ralph said he went on a ride-along, and one of his ride-along drivers, his deputy, did one. I said, he did an RC? I said, buy that boy a beer.
That was
surprised he
Axel
knew what it
Anderson's
was.
big thing, was RC arrest. He goes, look, this guy's, he's nervous. You're watching his body language. He's nervous about something. He's sweating. He's got tape. He's got like one of those Halloween masks, the full ones that come over. He's got gloves. He's up to no good. So we don't know, have he done some? Showed me how to write them, and he put it as a reasonable cause arrest. It's a good rest and allows DB time to work the case.
Yep. And he's spending time in jail while you do it, not out there
right
getting rid of the evidence or doing it again. I see fine. We did them all the time. Yeah. Car stereo in the back seat, wires torn out. Well, there's more to it. We want something. This person's good for something. We want to get him in jail. We want to get him talking, get him on the phone, whatever it is.
Yeah. I remember arresting Kojak because he came in on an RC arrest. I was working the desk. He came into the station with this 6-foot-high karate trophy. And he puts it up on the counter, and he's like, hey, I just won this. I go, Kojak, you don't know nothing about karate.
He brought a trophy in?
And he brought it in.
Yeah.
And so I go, you know what? I did an RC on him. And sure enough, the karate studio was on the north side of Florence in Huntington Park.
I remember that one.
That's Huntington Park's call.
Yeah.
And they stole the big trophy. They smashed the window and stole the big trophy. And here he was. He was in custody.
He said he won a trophy. He won the trophy.
Yeah, he said,
I want to show you.
He goes, yeah. Kojak. Because he had that little fake badge. He'd open his jacket. Little Kojak.
Firestone had so many characters, man. Yeah. It's funny we go back to that. But you wanted to talk about someone. the guy that's there now.
Yeah, I'm telling you, think about it. He hasn't done anything for the department. His photo ops are for stupid stuff, for political gain. He's not doing anything. I'm saying vote Alex Villanueva. Vote Alex.
I was watching a movie the other day, bro, and it's funny that you say these things, but I was watching a movie. I watched The Godfather. I watched 1 and 2. I don't watch 3. And you remember Don Fanucci?
I don't remember the name.
Dude, it looks just like him, bro. But he's got a white hat and a white suit, and he's running the neighborhood, and he's walking around waving at everybody. I go, God, that looks just like Luna.
My impression of him is he's weak. He's the guy that used to give everybody lunch money so they'd be his friend, or they just take it from him. Probably couldn't get on the sheriff's, couldn't pass our test, or he just was afraid, like I said. But he wanted to be the chief law enforcement officer of Los Angeles County, so he ran for sheriff. And here he is sheriff, and he's even weaker now as sheriff because he looks like a deer with caught in the headlights. He doesn't know what he's doing.
It's so sad, though, because
morale is like it's never been this low. Even with Baca, it never got this low.
No, it's just not even a thing anymore. It's not even a unit anymore. It's not even a department. It's kind of it's stalled right now. It's just waiting. It's just waiting to be hopefully revamped. Because he's just stalling, dude. He's not doing anything. He's not doing anything to fix anything. Mm-hmm. Nothing in the streets for the people, nothing in the department for the deputies and the law enforcement. He's doing nothing for both. He's kind of just idle. And you can't be idle in law enforcement. You got to be advancing. You got to be progressing, and either with innovation or maybe training or something. But there's things that can be done. He doesn't understand that the manpower pool and the bodies that he needs for his everyday assignments, they're not there anymore, and he's not recruiting. How do you recruit? I'm not going to a department where the guy's going to file on me if I do my job. If I do something corrupt, yeah. Go away, bye. You need to go to jail. But if I do my job, I should be safe. Mm. If I do it within the standards and the training, I should be fine. But I can't even guarantee that anymore because he's getting guys that do that and putting them in jail. Right. And he's saying, I didn't do it. No, dude, you did it. Because I said it before. The IAB guys said it should have been the station handle automatically with Trevor. Should have been a station handle. Not even a blink. Not even a blink. No hesitation. Because we do it all the time. Take down pepper spray. You don't listen to commands, interfering. They're arrestable. Plus, she was a suspect before in the shoplifting. All these different, and she assaulted a clerk. There's so many things. How did that get over there? How did he hand that over?
It was so he can flaunt himself. Look at what I did.
He ran on cleaning up this terrible department with all these rogue deputies. I'm going to clean it up, and all the people in the city go, yeah. They're so terrible. Go clean it. We'll vote for you. And they voted for him instead of Alex. They believed the lie that this guy was going to do some cleaning up, but there was no cleaning up to do. The department was running fine. The corruption was going where it needed to go. If you're bad, file on them. Get them gone. No cop wants the bad cop. That's all there is. No one's hiding any bad cops. So he ran on the lie, and then he said, well, I'm going to run again. I better start showing that I cleaned up this place because the gang thing was a lie. So he starts putting guys that did their job in jail. Well, the feds, to me, I think there's some good feds. I've worked with some good ones. But you're always going to find one or two that want to do something that's not.
Make a name for themselves.
Right. And that's every department, every law enforcement agency in the world. There's always a couple that want to do something stupid. Well, these guys, when they took that from him, they should have gave it back. They should have handed it back. Said, no, this isn't our house. It's not our wheelhouse.
Right.
And I said to Trevor, there are some people that need to go to jail. That should have been something referral. If you wanted to make your name, refer it on someone who deserves it, not a guy doing his job. If we can get all these guys that ran with Alex against him to join forces in the runoff, that'll be the best thing that can happen. And no, I'm going to say it straight out. They need to get their shit together and unite for the common cause. And the common cause is having someone run the sheriff's department who knows how to run the sheriff's department. You have to go all the way back and look at how strong we were back in the day. If these guys want to stand on some hill and say, well, I ran and maybe I can win next time, I think you're full of shit. Join together. Let's fix it. Give Alex another chance. endorsing. I see some guys doing the right thing. That's what they all need to do, though. All of them.
Yeah. You know, in all transparency, full transparency, I didn't know Alex really before. I never worked with him, never worked around him, never heard anything about him. When I went to patrol, Borman was a TO, and I saw he was a hard worker. Then he went to DB, and I saw him working hard in DB, writing search warrants. Then I knew he promoted. Then he went to Arco Narco. And that's where everybody gives him this bad thing. When he talked, you know, one of the things he said, and I agree with, is guys make mistakes because we're out trying hard. Like Trevor, he's out working hard, he's doing stuff, and you make mistakes sometimes. Those you just get retrained. You learn from it. It's a learning experience. But you take a dirty cop who's, you know, premeditated corruption. Those guys need to go to jail.
Yep.
They're no different than the guys we're searching for.
Yeah.
So when Mike talks about that stuff and learning a lot about what happened with that stuff, I don't fault him for that. I've never seen him do anybody wrong personally, and I support him. And my second choice was Alex, because he has history here. He grew up here, you know, in the department, and was our sheriff. And then when Mike came out and supported him, I'm hoping that everybody else does that too.
Well, Brendan did too. Brendan
Yeah.
Corbett did too.
So I'm like
Good for
100%
them.
behind Alex. And now that I'm in LA County again, I can
them.
actually vote for him.
Good for them, though. And all of them, strong, all of them, they need to get together and put their petty shit aside, because that's what deputies do. We figure out what's the bigger picture. We figure out what the bigger mission is, and we handle it. We don't run away from it. We handle it. And there's no egos here.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what's wrong. If they don't get their crap together, I'm going to be so disappointed in all of them. I mean, I know the two that I know of. Get their crap together, get behind them. And if they don't, they're responsible for the next Trevor.
Yeah.
They're responsible for the next guy who goes down, for this guy who doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah. And you know, Lancaster, Palmdale, I had more murders there
Mhm.
than I did anywhere else. You know, I had 2 murders on the same street.
Uh-huh.
You know, but off of Gadsden, the apartments there.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like working South Central.
Trevor called it a war zone.
Yeah.
And he's right. And I got emails. Well, it's not. I go, shut up. Shut up. You open your eyes or listen to the people who actually respond. I responded to so many murders in Lancaster, Palmdale. Nothing against the people there. I'm talking about the bad people would do something bad and I'd have to go.
Right.
There's a lot of great people there. Stop getting your 20s in a bunch.
Yeah.
It's a bad area. And if you don't let the cops do their job, it is going to get so much worse.
And the one thing about it is the weather is so extreme up there. Like during winter, like if I had to handle or assist and it's winter, it's freezing.
And
So-
it's hot as hell.
And then during the summer, it's hot. So those are two
Yeah.
situations where you have to really work your crime scenes fast because your body's laying out in the heat and it's deteriorating right there.
And
you
I'm
know?
up in some damn attic pulling. I'm like, you jerks, stop calling me.
Well, you love the overtime, though.
No, I didn't. You know I hate overtime. I hate overtime.
Yeah, right.
I'm not that guy. When we were working
Well, I
overtime,
only called you.
Yeah, I know you'd call me because I take care of you. But industry, when we worked overtime, then that was fun because it was OSS.
Yeah.
No, some liquor store in Lake LA at 2 a.m. No, man, I'm not looking forward to that drive or that overtime. I hated it. But OSS was, man, I couldn't leave. I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to go home.
Yeah.
Nothing personal, but I didn't want to go home. It's just a great place to be out there hunting.
That's what it was. I always tell people I had the privilege of playing cops and robbers for real. You know, we used to all play it as kids, and you get to play it for real. And I told you, I never intended to be a cop. I was driving trucks. And a friend of mine came, and I got hired. He didn't. Hasn't spoken to me since. and the 35 years went by like that.
Yeah.
You know, went by like that. And I worked with great guys, you know, the Rich Lopez's, the Steve Wilkinsons, Spackmans, Tony Baldinos, Roy Burns, Ed Godfrey.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite parts. And we were in the academy together. So
I call
So
them.
we already had a relationship.
I call them giants here, and I'm not blowing smoke, man. Giants. You guys were an era that I wished so bad I could get into, but you guys went and closed the station on me. And it was number one, and then you closed the door on me. Man, Plan B, C, or D is coming now, because that was the place I wanted to go so bad, because I grew up watching you guys. And that's not a good watch, but I'm telling you that right now. It wasn't all fun and games, but it was respect. A lot of respect.
And for me, it was like, Firestone, Linwood, and Lennox, and Carson had the reputation of just going out there. And then when we took over Compton, and then South LA, and then Century, that's where you wanted to go. But now one of the places to go is Lancaster.
You get out, and there's guys on Oscar was telling me, Martinez was telling me that he has guys in Lancaster, Palmdale, I don't know which one, that are still on probation. So they're under a year. Still on probation on training, that's risky as hell, man. Risky. But they do it.
But when I went,
It's good for them.
when I went out, it was like everybody was just like each shift, see who could get the most rest and the best rest per shift. Each shift, like PMs and earlies, and our reputation was you didn't eat unless you got a felony or a gun. And you didn't eat.
Yep.
You may not eat all night. And there was guys that I knew. I don't know if you know Dana Ellison, who he would get off of work at 10, and he might have been working East LA at the time. I'd see him down in our area like at 2 in the morning because he hadn't found an arrest yet. And he was out looking for somebody to take to jail.
Remember when we were driving around and you say, we're going in? I turned around and go, no one in the back seat. We're staying out. We'd challenge each other every night. But I love those things. It wasn't, oh my God, we can't leave. We got to stay here. It's so hard to do this. I need another hook. No, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. And I'm going on this thing. I'm starting to do a series now because I want to get from everybody. I'm going to start asking. I think, like you said, guys that don't go patrol from the jails are cowards. Right?
I think so.
Ron Duval?
If they choose not to go to patrol because they want to stay there, and they use the excuse, I've got a nice schedule, I get to see the family, and
I'm giving it to you, cowards.
stuff. Yep.
Okay. I have the same hard feeling with people pretending to be cops. I hate pretenders, dude. I don't give a shit. Give me hate mail. You're pretending to be a cop. If you're driving around with your windows closed, you're pretending. You're a fake cop. You're on stage. You're acting. Look at how cute I am in my car driving around with my uniform. You're not a cop. You might as well have stayed in the station. I know I'm going to get shit, but I don't care. I'm walking around, driving around with my family, and every time I see one, I want to just slap them. I do. I'll knock on the window, go, hey, dude, did you hear that lady screaming down the street over there? No, you weren't. You didn't, because you had your windows up, you idiot.
Yeah. Well, I'll do this. And then they roll their window down. I go, did you hear the gunshots back there?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, I didn't hear nothing. And I go, oh, okay. I'm thinking, yeah, right.
No shit. What do you expect to hear with your windows up?
Yeah.
You know they have their AC on. So now AC is not quiet.
Hey, we had the AC on, but our windows were down.
Full blast. Full blast AC, full blast heater, but the windows were down depending on the weather. Hot or cold?
Raining, you'd leave it that much open, and you had towels from the jail, the shower, just so that
we're not stupid. When it poured, back window down, windows up in the front, but back windows your back seat got soaked. I didn't give a shit. I was at a mall the other day, and it's outside mall, and they're driving around, and I see the guy driving by, and I go, You're patrolling this outdoor beautiful mall, nice area, nice stores, windows up, air conditioning on. What's the patrol to you? Where are you patrolling? Now you gotta see it to patrol.
Yeah, he's probably got some radio station on, listen to something.
But he's using one sense,
Yeah.
his eyes. He can only see something, and they would have to jump in front of the car and wave at him and tell him I got something. So you're telling me is you're listening to the radio when you're waiting for a call. Because you have no other capability with the windows up. You have none. They would have to jump your hood before you could take action.
I actually had that. I think we were going down Hooper. I can't remember who I was working with. And this guy's running, and we stopped, and he's falls flat on the hood of the car, and he's got a knife in his back.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, and he died right there.
I'm sorry. Really?
Yeah, when I was in patrol.
DRT?
Yep.
Oh, no way.
It was the funniest thing. We're
How
like,
come I haven't heard this story
I didn't
either?
think of it until you just said that. It reminded me.
I sat in the car with you for years.
Yeah.
You didn't give me that one.
I never thought of that.
He fell in the hood
There's
with
so
the
many stuff that, like, that's why I want to do it with, like, Ed or somebody else.
They'll
that,
bring up my memories.
Yeah, because we play off each other's memories.
So
and
where was
stuff.
this? Where was going on?
I think it was on Hooper. Might have been on Compton. But it was like, I just got off training. And I think I might have been working with Eli Cuevas. And this guy's running up to us. And he's waving his arms like this. And then he flops right on the hood. And there's a knife sticking out of his back.
What?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
You just kept driving.
No. That was like one of the first times I could go 1033.
1033, give me the patch. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's how I say it every show, and people are getting tired of it. Roll down. You're not a cop. You're not patrolling. That isn't patrol.
Mm-mm.
That isn't patrol. You're. I don't know where you learned it. Like in academy. Okay, academy. You don't drive cars. You don't really drive a lot of cars. You get to patrol training. Your TOs are responsible for everything you do after that. That's why we call him Daddy. If he didn't tell you, keep your windows down, shame on him.
Mm-hmm.
He shouldn't be a TO. He should be rolled up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because that person driving around the car, they're all young. They're really young right now. Everybody I'm seeing is like babies.
And
Well,
blind
everybody's
leading the blind.
But you just said it. How much fun was patrol?
That was the best time of my career.
He's not doing patrol.
Yeah.
He's not doing patrol. So he's not even doing the best time of his life. What I consider the best time of my life, too. It was awesome. Patrol was great. Windows up, you're waiting for I don't know what you're waiting for. Tell me. Explain to me. What are they doing? Are they hiding? They don't want someone to come up and talk to them? They don't want to hear the scream? They don't want to hear the whistle? What are they avoiding?
Yeah.
Do you think that's what it is?
I have no idea. I can't
You can't even fathom it.
lower myself down to that level to think that.
So you feel the same. I mean,
Yeah.
I know Mike said the same thing. Is we could have went around with no windows, like they took him out
Mhm.
because he was Firestone with you.
Yeah. So I think of driving around with your windows up is the same as they put those dummy cars
Yeah,
on at certain intersections. There's nobody in it. Or like industry had
the dummy.
Pat Rollman.
Yeah,
the big dummy
the fake dummy sitting in the front seat. They left it there.
that always makes it into the station photos.
How proud are you? You went through a 8-hour shift, a 10-hour shift. You got out, got dressed, went home, and you're driving home. What a great job I did today.
Yeah, and you had, 480 hours or 480 minutes of patrol time?
480 minutes, and you did nothing.
Mm.
You answered a couple calls, and then I get to talk about it on my weekends at my little barbecues about what a great job I have. And I'm a cool cop.
Yeah. Does
I
he
wear-
really have any war stories?
And I walk, I have all my, cool shirts that say what unit I work at, but I did nothing. Or you know what? I missed out on so much. I think that's what it is. You missed out on so much if you don't patrol proactively.
And then you can't work specialized units, without patrol certified. So for me, patrol was the best. Why was OSS so great too? Because we still got to patrol.
Yep.
We still got to patrol. We're out and about.
And no call. And we had directed, we wanted certain people, we'd go look for them.
Yeah.
And that was it. It was like a DB car that went after the worst of the worst. And we didn't have all the stupid calls.
Right. But if there was a call that went out, we could respond to it. If
Went to everything.
A hot call, we'd go to it.
We go to everything just because there's nothing going on. Hey,
And plus, I like
let's see what's going on
so
over
the
there.
patrol guys see OSS out in the field so they could call us. They'll jam people. And if they don't see OSS around, they'll just FI. But if they know we're out, they'll call us over so we can actually talk to them.
Mm-hmm. I like that when certain people would get their trainees out and say, FI all those guys, tow the car, do it. And you're just sitting there like, hey, bro, I got it. No, they're going to do it. They're going to do it, sir. And then later on, a lot of them became homicide and stuff. And I told them, I said, man, I remember you were a TO. Me and Ronnie would have like 4 on the curb or whatever. Your trainees always would take our cards and tow our cars and book our guns and all that cool stuff. And he goes, because I wanted to go OSS. I wanted to go OSS. So I wanted to impress you guys to go to OSS. And I said, well, you went to homicide. That's pretty cool. I said, but we also had other TOs that would just drive up and look and drive away.
I think, OSS is here. Let's
Yeah.
go. They want us to do all their stuff.
Yeah, but they're always lazy and they're always slugs.
But I got that when I was at Homicide. You know, you go into, like, for example, my brother's nephew and his brother-in-law were on the department. You know, Tony Manfrey
Okay.
worked East LA DB. So Joseph comes on the department. He works East LA. Now he gets the DB. And Frank and I had a couple cases out there, and he's working the night car. So we'd go in, because I know he wanted to go to Homicide, and I wanted him to go to Homicide.
Yeah.
So we go in one day, and the other guys in DB or East LA are like, "Oh, great, Homicide. So what do you guys need us to do for you?" And we're like, "Oh, we're not here for you." You know, and I'm like, "We're waiting for Joseph. What time's he come on?" "Oh, he'll be here in a little bit." "Why Joseph?" I go, "Because he wants to go to Homicide, and I'm going to help him get there." And Frank goes, "Yeah, we wrote him 2 or 3, and we had Joe write him 2 or 3 attaboys, you know, and we're always talking about him. And I had no idea, because I had got off IOD, getting ready to retire. I had no idea that he had applied for it. And all I remember was finding out that the day my retirement became official, the next list, he went and he actually took my desk.
No way.
Because he calls me up and goes, "Hey, I'm in your desk. I have all these pictures that are photoshopped. Do you want them?" I go, "No, you can toss them in my files." He goes,
I don't even want to know what's in that desk.
did I have any influence in getting there? Probably not. But the fact that
You probably did.
those East LA guys, that I said, he's going to get there before you guys are, and then he went.
The long game,
You
man.
know? Yeah.
That's what we did. Remember that? Me and you, if we saw someone that was hungry, we'd help. We'd always help the younger guys.
Yeah. Because the
Always.
thing about Joseph is he was a worker. He wanted to work.
You have to be.
You know, and then when I would do training, like if I was doing, you know, investigative trainings and stuff like that, gang trainings, he'd be in the class. I always picked on him. Yeah. He'd look in and he'd go, "Oh," because he knew I was going to pick on him. But it was just a rite of passage,
Yeah.
you know, because I knew he was a good dude and I wanted him to go.
Yeah, but you're not going to hurt him. You're cool. I know that. Depends on if you didn't like him. If you didn't like him, then he'd be in trouble.
Yeah. And then the thing about it is I see both of them at family functions because they're family now, you know.
So Homicide, how's he like it?
Oh, he loves it.
Yeah? Are they
Yeah.
still doing everything like you were doing? Is Homicide still a good unit?
I don't know. I haven't been around it. I think so. You know, I deal with Karen Shanka every day through the Elks, and she's a hire back, you know, and she's working her butt off all the time. She works hard with the Elks. I'll see her in the lodge, and I go, "What are you working on?" She goes, "Oh, it's one of the cold cases I got."
No way.
Yeah, because she'll be in there to work where she's got some quiet and
You
privacy.
tell her, let me see it, I'll solve it. Give me that.
So where I met her in '88 at her transfer party to go to patrol at Lenox, and so that's when I first met her and I knew her. So our careers are like slightly different. She did 10 years at OSS and 22 years at Homicide.
No way.
Where I did 8 years at Homicide and 22 years at OSS. You know. So-
She's OG.
Oh, and I have to tell you, she's one of the hardest working people I saw. She was on Team 3, which was our sister team. So I always saw her and her partner just always working.
I got to get her in here, man. I know she's still working.
That's why.
I know. Maybe someday when she pulls a plug, I can get her in here.
I think this will be her last time.
Well, you know, I did a lot of jobs for her, a lot of jobs for you guys, all you guys. And I made a comment in here one time. There's Homicide guys I never met, and I said, "How the hell does that work? That you've never been in tech ops?" And I just met him. I go, "You're at Homicide? How long you been there?" "I've been there 8 years." I've been here 12. I've never seen you. Nah, I don't really use you guys. What? How do you not do a Perkins? How do you not do anything? A phone?
Are they not getting cases that they have to pull video from?
I said 8 years. Do you think you would have done a phone? No?
I can't explain to other people.
Yeah.
I can't speak for them.
Yeah, we can speak for the ones with the windows up. We can speak for the ones who don't go to patrol. We just did.
Or having a partner who would fall asleep on earlies when I was driving, and I'd make 2 or 3 stops and write tickets, and then wait for him to turn his log in, and then once he left, I'd turn the tickets in the box, and his log would get
His
kicked
log
back.
didn't match.
You wrote tickets? Oh yeah. Where was I?
Sleep.
I go.
You did that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. I have a picture of you sleeping.
I have one of you sleeping. But that was during the fires when
It was during the fire at 12 and 12s.
Yeah.
Sitting in a parking lot for 12 hours waiting for
we
the county to make all that money off mutual aid.
Yeah, but we were up in the campground up in the mountains, and
They
they didn't even have us doing anything.
They stuck us in the campground for.
But the campground was fun because remember when we brought
someone brought a TV, I think.
No, but when we were at the camp where they actually had all the firemen were staged.
Oh yeah.
We were at the entrance. Remember when we put our raid jackets on?
Well,
and
you
stuff?
got to tell the people it's boring as hell because they don't let us leave.
Right.
They make us stay in a staging area. We are not allowed to leave.
And
We're
we're just
ordered to stay in this parking lot.
checking people that came in, and then so I like to have fun. So remember what we did is we put our entry gear on, and we took the attic mirror, and we had a shotgun out. I think did you have the AR? No, just the shotgun. I don't remember if you had the AR. I just remember it was which commander was it? Because I knew him.
I forgot.
And I'm walking around the car with the mirror, like looking underneath for bombs and stuff like that. And wow, they're taking this serious, you know.
Just boredom.
Yeah.
But they stopped and they went next car.
And they went through and
he went with the mirror on the bottom looking.
And they were like impressed, like, wow, what's going on, you know?
All we needed was a dog, huh?
I remember I said I should have brought my shepherd.
I should bring my shepherd and we'll go walk the dog around and get out of the car, sniff the dog out. It was a parking lot for nothing. There was nothing to secure there.
Well, no, that's the entrance into the grounds where they had all the firemen's
food
stays, their
and
food, their sleeping quarters.
But I mean, there was nothing to protect. We're just screwing around.
No, I was just making the day go faster.
That was hilarious. I've talked about the mutual aid thing, and I told somebody it's bullshit. How much money they make off mutual aid, making us all respond. The county makes all this money, but they don't let you do nothing.
It's like the riots. Hurry up and wait.
I remember the first time I went at GET, we got an ERT team because we're the response team, ERT emergency response team, and I was with Rich Martinez. So me and Rich responded from Century. I was working clear, and we park, and everybody brings that big truck up with all the gear, like all the pepper spray and sting balls and Arwen guns and all the vests and helmets and sticks, the whole trailer with all the equipment. And everybody goes up and gets all their stuff. And Rich doesn't move. And I look at Rich, he's driving. I don't know what I'm doing. Never been to one. And he didn't move. He takes off his class P. He's in his T-shirt and he just puts his head back and falls asleep. And I'm saying, okay. So I took off my shirt and I fell asleep for 5 hours. And everybody had their stuff on. They put all their gear on. They're walking around with their sticks and helmets and all this, the gas mask on their leg and the whole bit. And then, 10 hours later, all right, break it down. They all put their stuff back, put it back on the trailer. And I look at Rich, I said, you're the smartest guy here. He goes, I've done this for a long time, man. We never go anywhere. We never go anywhere. We're just going to sit in this parking lot all day. He goes, one thing to know, if it goes to shit, you'll have time to put all that crap on. I said, all right. And I never put on any gear. I don't know how many times we responded to how many different things, but they never put us out. And then I saw Zagorski took it over. They were always going out. I don't know what happened, what changed, but we never did anything. We never left Beverly Hills, that parking lot right in Beverly Hills. They had some protests. They thought they were going to burn down Beverly Hills, Rodeo Drive. We sat in that parking lot all day long, eating food and hanging out. Then I got sick. Whatever they fed me got me sick. But Rich is cool. You know Rich, right? Martinez?
There's so many names.
He's a tall guy, green eyes.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, he's a Century with Hector and him were partners at OSS.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Hector and Rich were my mentors at OSS. That's where it all went wrong. Hector Velasquez.
And that's the funny part is
What do you guys call him?
Little Pinch.
Little Pinch.
I worked with Big Pinch.
I know.
I worked a radio car with Sal.
So Hector talked about how Sal messed him up, told everybody to be harder on him when I went to Firestone. he thought, well, my brother's there. It'll be okay. I'll get off training and be all right.
I treated him right because I actually liked Hector.
Oh,
Hector's a great guy.
Hector's awesome. But he said that his brother told everybody, I want you guys to be rougher and harder on my brother.
Yeah.
Then I go, heck, that's your brother sucks, man.
And they live right next door to each other.
They're just brothers. I said, I think about it. I go, I play tricks on my brother all the time, so I get it. You tried to play a trick on my brother one time. That was hilarious.
Who did?
You did.
What did I do?
You said I got remanded. You told my brother I got remanded at court. You don't remember?
I don't remember that.
You told my
I
brother.
come up with some stuff that I don't even remember. And people say, you did this to me. And I go, I did? When?
You called my brother. My brother called you, and you said he went to court today, and they remanded him because he wouldn't give up a witness. He needs bail. My brother goes, Ronnie, shut up. Yeah, you told him I got arrested at court. You don't remember half the shit, dude. You're getting old, brother.
I know.
I think you just told me that story a week ago.
I didn't tell you that a week ago.
Well, anyways, we can hope for change in this department. We can hope that something happens, but I don't know. I don't see.
It's getting to the point where I'm like, I don't want to admit that I worked here.
Sad.
It's kind of embarrassing. Oh, you work for the sheriff's department.
It is embarrassing now.
Yeah.
When I used to go on training all over, we went all over this country, training all over the country, probably all states. Everyone would say, oh, the big dogs. Oh, you guys work for the big dogs. Oh, you guys are the sheriffs. And by the end of the training, we were training.
Yeah.
Because they want to know how we did it.
Well, remember we went to that, Just Gangs?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember talking to the dude there. And then next year, I was one of the instructors.
I made a lot of good friends from being at a training, trying to get the training, and then next year training, like being the trainer. Because I'm on training. I don't say shit. But then they make you go around and introduce yourself.
Yeah.
And then you tell them, well, I came from LA County Sheriff's. I've been on 28 years, whatever it was. And everybody turns around. And it's not like I'm trying to act like I'm big or anything. It's just they're very small departments.
Yeah.
And then they start training.
And they would say, how would you guys do it?
And the volume, bro. I mean, come on. I remember I was in Virginia, and the guy says, we had one murder in this town we were in. I said, well, a month? For the year. What?
Yeah.
So they start asking, how would you guys do it? Just like if you were there, probably. And I said, well, we wouldn't do any of that. We would do this. And come and show us. So me and Dan would train them. And then after that, I was like, can you guys come back and train us? So they started paying for us to go out and train them every year in nice hotels and the whole bit. Good dudes. Very hardworking cops. They just don't have the resources. First of all, money.
Experience.
And they didn't know the rules. They didn't even know what a Perkins was, bro. They had no idea. We had a DA in the room on one of them. It was a conference. And the patrol guys were all talking, and we told them about Perkins. And we showed them how we set it up. And 2 or 3 of the cops go, we can't do that here. We can't do that. Yeah, you can, absolutely. And I look at the DA, and I point at him. He goes, yeah, you can do that. And they all looked up, how come we don't know this? I said, there's no right to privacy in jail custody's facility. There's no right to privacy. And well, what about the Constitution and his rights? And dude, the DA stood up and said, here's my card. You guys want to talk about it? We can do everything they just said. And we were teaching them how to do Perkins. Imagine what that opened up.
Yeah.
There was probably 50 cops in the room, 50 to 75. You know, that splinters out. Right. And it just turns into a wildfire that they have this tool.
I remember being on the stand and the defense attorney said, so you lied to my client? Absolutely.
Called a ruse.
And I said, I lied about this. I did this ruse. I did that ruse. And I said, I would actually have somebody knock on the door, come in, fingerprints are back, it's his prints, and all right, And
yeah, it's a ruse. As long as
I
you
touched it
document
once, but I didn't have it that night,
Yeah. I did one for one of you guys where I took a surveillance picture and video of a guy in a liquor store, stuck his face on this, because you couldn't see it, stuck his face on it, and he goes, see, they got surveillance of you. As long as you put in there you did it, it's case law. and it's you're not using it as evidence. You're using it as evidence to make it because he's going to say something more, basically, why he did it.
And, well, here's something to think about. How many times did you catch him, like, on a video that's the person, and they still deny it? You show them the video, and that's not me. He's got the same exact shirt on. He's got everything the same. That's not me. Nope, that's not me.
Absolutely. I did that to a guy who did a carjacking, and he's wearing a Dodger jersey with the number and everything. That's not me. Dude, we just did a warrant. I have your jersey. Not me.
There's a guy with gold teeth. They said he was a tall black guy with gold teeth and braids. Same dude. And with red and white beads. That's him. That's not me.
Oh, the ones with the tattoos on their faces.
Yeah.
That's not me. Dude, come on, man. These are fun things. I'm just hoping we can bring it back to the guys can do it again. The guys and girls can start doing the job. The job is fun. And I think they're just missing out on so much because not their fault. I wish we could bring it back.
Yep. Vote Alex Villanueva.
He's the only chance we got. I like Alex. He's a good dude. It's so disappointed in what's there now. It's heartbreaking, dude. It's just heartbreaking. And you said it. It's almost embarrassing, but it's not the guy's fault. It's not the department's fault. Not the girl's fault. It's the image he's portraying now is not close to what the department is. And I get mad because I think of all the years you guys were there and the precedents you guys started. It's just being wiped away. It's so much work.
See, and then you say that, and I'm going, the guys before me.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Ed the other day, and he goes, yeah, guys are still calling him, you shouldn't be doing that. And I'm like, why?
They did that to him too?
Yeah. They just,
and giving up trade secrets or something.
what secrets?
I know, that's what I think.
CSI gives up all the secrets.
No one's giving up secrets in here, and everybody's giving an opinion. We're all allowed to do it. Everybody's so scared to give their opinion nowadays, and that's part of the problem. That's part of the problem with the people that have a reluctance to come in here. I get it. Some people don't like to do it. I get it. I'm not trying to be mean. What I'm saying is, if it's because you feel that you don't have a right to talk, or you should be quiet, or you're being disrespectful by talking, I think that's wrong. You should be able to say whatever the hell you want.
Well, I get this. Well, you shouldn't be talking about. I go,
about what?
I've talked the cases I talked about. I've been adjudicated, and I've been on TV with that case. So what the heck do we care about it anymore?
What are they scared of? What are they scared of? I don't ever talk about something that's still being adjudicated. Everything I did is done. Yeah. The guy's in jail or he's home.
And this is actually a blast because you get to talk about stuff that happened, like new stuff that pops up
all the time.
And it's the lighter side of what we did. This is the funner side of what we were doing, and it wasn't. It's like these guys that retire stress. The only stress I had was making sure I had deputies show up to court on one of my cases. That was the stress.
Or the victim.
Yeah,
subpoenas.
But I trusted the victim to show up, sometimes being more prepared for the case than the deputies.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have your copy of your report? No. Here, read it. Have you read it? No. And then what do they do on the stand? Can I refer to my report?
That's just embarrassing. But
like for me, when I taught on expert gang testimony, I said, keep up a little book, which I had. I had a little book. All my subpoenas went in there, and I wrote all the information on the back of the subpoena for that gang. Their boundaries, their insignias, their monikers, how many members were active at the time, who were the most active ones. So that when I went to court, I could print it back and say, okay, this is the case. And I had every case I did. So, because how many times did you hear, I'm a gang investigator for the sheriff's department. How long you been a gang detective? Oh, like 10 years. And how many times have you testified? I don't know, like 20 or 30 times. But I could actually go in and say, hey, because I had them split up into the different gangs and the different cliques within the gang. And I could say, like I finished out. I wanted 2 more because I finished out with 148 times I testified as a gang expert.
Damn.
And I wanted to be able to say 150. But I could break it down. Puente, I testified 68 times on. Blackwood, like I think it was like 32.
Whoa.
Blackwood was most of them.
They're the most active.
Yeah. And Ballista was like another 15 or so.
Nothing on Bassett?
Well, that was a different gang. So Bassett was different. But I'm talking about like breaking it down. So if I did Puente, I could break it down to each
click.
each click, you know.
I still tell the story of how you became an expert on the stand with mine.
What'd you want?
Jesus, man, I'm going to give you some, you have medicine for that?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's an ointment goes in my ear.
We had that kid that got shot in the legs. I had it. It's my case. And he got shot in the legs at the apartment building in Rowan Heights. And Walnut doesn't have an OSS, so we had to roll over there.
Oh, the white guy.
Yeah.
White boy.
The white kid whose
parents were the pastors of their own church, and we found all that naked twister
on the screensaver.
On the screensaver.
And they were the pastors, yeah. That guy. Now you remember? You remember that.
All driving Mercedes, including the kid.
Living up in I was dealing with it, and I said, hey, Ronnie, you want to come in and help me out? Just do some testimony on the gang, whatever. And he said, yeah, I'll help you out. Not just making you work. And by the end of it, Rosalari had you sworn in as an expert on, I don't even know a gang.
It was like 10 guys in it or something.
Yeah. But Ross took you down that road and clicked up with something else, and you're a gang expert by the time you finished.
We did that on a Chisholm case for Townsman, where the guy had come from another gang out in the Inland Empire, and we did the same thing with that.
Well, if you connect them, you connect them.
Yeah.
If you can connect them, but it's hard to connect them. That's what I'm trying to say is you connected them. It wasn't like two non-gangs. No, they were connected, but you explained it in a way where it worked. But damn, I didn't even see that way.
But it was great working with Ross.
Oh, because he knew what to ask.
Ross grew up in Bassett, went to Bassett High School. You know,
love working with Ross.
Was a probation officer. Saw a guy being a district attorney. He says, "I know that guy. I could do this." Became our own private hardcore DA.
Yep, he was in our office, and having a hardcore DA was gold.
He was there. He'd roll out on the scene with us.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Italy on vacation, and I called him. I said, "Hey, I just picked this up." He says, "Okay." He goes, "Fax me the face sheet." I faxed him the face sheet, signed it, faxed it back, and dropped it off as a Rosalari filing. Mm-hmm. And because he did vertical prosecution, he filed it, did the prelim, and did the trial.
Yep. I told you when I had him, it was me and you, we got called out for a kid who said a drive-by, got shot in the face, went down to LCMC, downtown General Hospital, and he copped to me that he shot himself in the face because his girlfriend was going to leave him. So I tell Ross, I want to get him for possession of the weapon. It's a parolee. He goes, do you have the gun? I go, no. But he said he shot himself in the face over this girl. So he had to have possession at the time. He goes, I like it. And he filed it, and he took a 4-year plea on shooting himself in the face. Ross was badass. That's the greatest thing about the team in the industry. We had a hardcore DA. We had a probation officer, Eddie Gomez. We had the MARC girls, the Children's Services girls, all assigned in the same room. So every warrant, we called them all out, and the kids we always took the kids if they were in trouble. We took probationers because of Eddie. And I remember calling the prospectors and mining, the guys with the metal detectors to search in places we couldn't get to. And we called Joe DeLura with the gun dog. Yeah. And at the time we were allowed to use a gun dog. And then the county said he's too expensive, and Homicide complained that we were using him. They took him away because but he found me more guns than anybody.
That's when the doc bought us our own gun.
Yeah, and somebody said no because everybody has to get one.
No, we had to open it up. The doc paid for the car, paid for the deputy, paid for the dog, and he said, I'd like this guy to do it. So the sheriff appeased him. He's putting up the money for it. And a certain lieutenant comes in and says, no, we need to open it up to everybody. And so what did the doc do? No more money. The same lieutenant, we had that contract. The guys before me at Industry negotiated a contract with the Puente Hills Mall because they used to have this arcade there, the Tilt. And all the gangsters used to go there. And when I first went to that team, that overtime, we were running to fights all the time in there. And there was only 4 of us at the time. And like the team expanded, and I think we got up to like 6 guys, I think, or 7. And all I remember was a certain lieutenant, comes to OSS and decides, you guys just can't have it. It has to be open up to everybody. So what did the mall do? No, we don't want people from other stations here. We want just our OS guys here. And a certain person was like, no, we can't do that. And he says, okay, boom, overtime was gone.
Just like Magic Mountain.
Yep.
Magic Mountain was nice. You can go with your whole family, never get messed with. Nobody would jump lines. Nobody would mess with anybody because OSS was there every weekend. And it was known only OSS could do it. And we'd wear our green jackets. And we
Maxwell, when they went to the white shirt with the green collar.
Not me. I wore a green jacket when I went.
And we had, when we first did it in 88, it was like 20 of us on days, and then like another 20 would come in at PMs. Because in the days, they were checking cars coming in too.
Mm-hmm.
Nabbing guns out of there left and
no
right.
jerseys, no hats, no tattoos.
No colors.
It was all locked down. And then they said, well, we can't do that anymore now. Nobody goes there.
Yeah. All we used to do is we'd say, okay, him, and him. And their security went up, read them that little disclaimer. It's private property and stuff. But I guess eventually they lost that in court.
Mm-hmm.
Then when people would come in, then we'd roam. And we'd go around and split up and stuff. But
they would jump line. We would catch them, take them out, and walk them to the cars, and then follow them with the radar car out of the park. And they wanted their money back. It's like, nope. We wanted to jump the lines. And it was good. I don't know anybody goes anymore.
Yeah. And one of the funny things is, remember in the security office, because of our presence there, how many of those security officers became deputies or LAPD?
Yep. By the time I finished off and I was leaving, they had got sued. They said no more anything. They couldn't tell them anything. And I was about to be done with it. And the security guards looked like they were 12. They were babies, and they were just getting run over. These people were beating them and not listening to them. They I don't know what company they got, but they were tiny. You know what shows up on the weekends? A bunch of thugs. They're just laughing at them.
Bunch of parolees.
Yeah, they took that away too.
But the whole best part, not the overtime, the best part was at the end of the night, we do the roller coaster tour. We got to ride all the roller coasters. That was the best part.
The best part for me was my son was the most popular kid in his high school. I would every time I go to work overtime, I'd pull up and he'd get out with his friends in the back seat, and I go up to the gate, open it up, and he'd go play in Magic Mountain.
Yeah.
And
we'd park in the back and just.
And then he started going to the water park, and he would bring different friends. So he was smart. He wasn't going to go, I'm not taking this. He was making all these new friends, and they knew, hey, he gets free Magic Mountain. I'm going to hang out with this kid. He was popular as hell.
Yeah. And remember, we knew all the back routes to get to places.
You could come out anywhere through the back door.
Yeah.
And like Goliath, you come, it's like a bamboo wall, and you open it, and you're just standing in there. And that's where you caught all the jumpers. Well, it was a fun time. I had a good time there.
And then they had the concerts they used to do. Then remember, it was like they were gothics.
Mm-hmm.
They had that smoke coming out. Those kids would dress in gothic would just get right in front of the smoke machine, just to inhale that smoke. I'm thinking, what are you doing?
Yeah, it was a good time. There was good money to be made, but I know certain people didn't like us making the money, took it away. I thought those are fun in overtime spots.
But the funny part is that person used to work OSS.
Yeah, I know.
And used to get as much of that overtime as he could.
Yeah, the thing about the dog, that was disappointing because we needed a gun dog because they stopped us from using Joe. And that was bad.
When was that?
Right when I was about to leave. Because Homicide said he's making too much money. And I said, he's finding your guns on your murders. Why are you complaining? Because Joe and I were friends. He goes, man, I'm thinking I'm going to lose my contract. I said, why? I said, Homicide is complaining I'm making too much money on my rollouts. Because he was charging like $80 an hour.
Something like that. I don't know.
Anyways, but his dog would find a gun on a murder or a shooting, and he always found my guns. And what's wrong? He's making money. You're making money. You're on overtime. He's making money. He has to pay for everything himself. It's his own business. And his dog is effective. It's not like the dog. And then they said you had to start using the dogs from TST. Well, they're bomb dogs. And then they said, oh, you can use Chippy's dog. We borrowed Chippy dog for one. You might have been there. We're walking around the dog to go find a gun. He's supposed to be their gun dog. And he laid down on the floor. Like, what the hell's the dog doing?
Kind of like an alert?
No, he's taking a break. No, I said, did he find something? And
the new breed.
The handler goes, oh, he's taking a break. I said, we've been going like 5 minutes. Wait for the dog. He stands back up. Now, we guess we can go around. I'm like, are you kidding me? This is what you guys want us to do? And I told that lieutenant, really? Really? This is what we need. Oh, we already pay for dogs. They're explosive dogs. It's two different things. You and I know, and I'm not going to say, you know what a gun dog is and how they work. That's two different worlds. Anything else?
No, I like doing these. This is fun.
Need a nap like
You
the
know,
dog?
And matter of fact, Ed said that this was a blast.
Ed? Yeah, I'm glad,
He goes,
man.
I still wanted, when I was driving home, I was thinking more I got to talk about.
He told me a bunch of stuff in the parking lot, and I told him the same thing I told you. He goes, dude, why didn't you bring this in the office? He goes, I just thought about it.
Yeah.
Talking to Ed was fantastic. You two together would I think it would be fantastic because you guys would bring up each other's stuff and help each other out on the memory stuff. But he was talking about you a lot. I can't believe you didn't watch it.
I didn't watch the whole thing. I'm telling you, I've been busy, especially
It was over 2 hours.
now that I volunteer on the Iowa
Oh, yeah, the Iowa.
for security.
That's cool.
Which is really cool.
With the fireworks, did you go?
They had it the week before.
Oh, okay.
It was called Cars and Stripes. So they had a car show.
Yeah.
And then they pulled the barge in. And
So
did
tell me what
fireworks.
you're doing. Tell the people what you do. I know what it is, but tell them.
Well, it's volunteer security for the Battleship Iowa down in San Pedro, and if you're retired and you got time, come on down because I'm telling you, I get free reign of the ship. I've been in places that and I'm according to my kids, NSF, non-serving fuck is what they call me, and I go, I served here on the home front for 35 years. I don't know how. The guys that served on that battleship, I don't know how they did it because you go down to the lower berths. There's no circulation.
Mm.
It's hot. Even now, it's hot and tight. I mean, and I get claustrophobia. You know that.
Yeah.
So,
You been on the Missouri?
not
Pearl
yet.
Harbor?
Nope. I've never been to Hawaii.
Oh, my God. You got to go,
I remember
man.
I'm divorced 3 times. I had 5 kids to support. What was that thing in Total Recall? I got 5 kids at home. So I paid child support for like almost 20 years, 25 years because they were spread out.
I know. I was in the car. We were in the car, remember? I heard it all. We've talked about it. You got to come back. I don't know why people are thinking that we shouldn't be talking, but that's on them. Having Ed here was, I'm going to say it, I'd never thought Ed would come in here. But again, what do you call us? We bamboozled him or something like that.
That's just one of his favorite words. Bamboozled.
Yeah, but both of you guys back here, I think would be great. I still want to take some people to see his museum. His museum was a hit on the podcast. People want to see it. They thought it might have been a public museum, but that's his house.
Yeah.
So it's not public.
And you don't see half of it because those lockers were filled to the brim of badges.
That video is nothing compared to what I saw, man. It was really cool, but I want to show it off. And he said to come down. I know he was gone for a while. We got to get back over there. I told Guy,
But he's
when
too
you coming
busy all
back?
the
He goes,
time.
I'm waiting for Ronnie.
I call him all the time. He goes, I got this because he's so busy. I got this going on. I got that going on.
He says he's waiting for you. Just tell
Every
him.
time I call him, he's not. He can't.
That
do it.
guy is the mover and the shaker, man. Yeah, but I don't want you getting off this mic and going out in the parking lot and telling me something again. And I'm gonna say,
Well, don't say something that's going to remind me of something.
just walk out quietly.
Just say bye.
You tell the best stories in the parking lot.
I thought of it then.
I love you coming out, brother. I love it coming out.
It's just fun. It's just stuff that, for me, it's the lighter side. It's the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. And
I'm gonna tell you comments I'm getting is we get to see the human side of the work. We get to see the human side of the cops, or what cops are, not what's portrayed. We get to see the real people. I like that, and that's from civilians talking about watching this.
I had a guy tell me once. He goes, "That's all you guys do is go out and kill." I go, "Yeah." I wake up one morning and says, I got to go kill me somebody today. Not happening. Our whole job is reactionary, and what other job do you can be just cruising down the street and then boom, you're out running full speed. You haven't stretched or nothing. You're running full speed, chasing somebody, climbing fences, climbing roofs,
40 pounds of shit on you.
40 pounds of crap on us, and then have to fight to take
Yep.
them down.
Yep.
You
What
know.
they tell you in the academy, it's cool you caught him. Now you got to hold him down. Fight. Now you got to take him into custody. And we saw what happens when you're not in shape and you're not ready for that, because some guys didn't know that was coming. But that job is a 0 to 100.
You talked about the gang stuff, though. They always say, "Oh, you got tattoos." Well, you know what? Everybody in the military has tattoos. One thing on the ship, it's each unit, like whatever they're doing, whatever department it is, over their berthing area has their logo painted on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And those guys had tattoos of that. It was because it was unity for that group, and the other groups had a unity, but together they were one big team, and they had competition. And that's how stuff gets done, and that's how you train better, is you're competing, trying to learn more and work harder, but as a unit, you know.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. Because it was 100% peer pressure to be better.
Right.
And not a bad peer pressure, but a peer pressure of I want to do better. I want to be in the cage. I want to be a briefing. Oh, Adam got this great hook. You striving to do well, so your peers look at you and hey, he's a worker. What's the worst thing you can be? Patrol, a slug. What's the best thing you can be? A slapdick. What's the best thing you are? As a worker.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a worker. Ship magnets are workers to me. The same thing. Some of them just lucky and some are unlucky.
You get a reputation of being a worker, you promote easily, like to different specialized units. You know, it's tough to get to specialized units.
It's hard as hell.
You know, and then, so, funny that you said it. So, my buddy who's the captain for an LAPD station, he says he has to deal with so much BS, these guys whining. When you brought it up, peer pressure. If we had somebody that was a slap, somebody who was whining and bitching and not doing his job, we handled it at the deputy level. You know, we ridiculed them, enforced them to either leave the station, go to the jail where you can do whatever you want, or get off your ass and do some work and stop complaining. He says they don't do that over there. The sergeants don't deal with it. The lieutenants don't deal with it. It goes straight to him, and he goes, "That's not my job." He goes, "That's why I have you guys to do that stuff, but they don't want to do it." So nobody wants to police their own.
Well, to me, you said something about that we take care of it ourselves. It's not because you want to act like I'm over you. It's because you're unsafe.
Yeah.
You're a liability. You're not, if you're, a slapper slug to me is a guy who won't respond to calls, who hides under a tree somewhere, who makes excuses to go 10:15 on some stupid warrant during the busy times.
Oh, I hate that.
You know, I'm going to take this jaywalking warrant for $500 to jail or whatever, and leave all my guys out there on a Friday night.
Or my time was the PCP guys. Why? Because now they had to go all the way up to LCMC to book and get okay to book. While we're responding and
but they
handling
do it
their
on
calls.
purpose to get themselves out of the field during the hot times.
Yes.
And that's a slug or a slap. That's what they are. So you might say, well, you ran a guy out of his job. No. He's a risk because he's a car that's not in the field when I might need him. He's a car or a body that's not present when I might need him. And that puts me at risk. If I'm bleeding in the street and I call for help, I want someone to respond. If you're not there, you're not responding, I could die. My partners could get hurt. That's why we look at it like, and it's not even an exception. You're a slug, you're a slap. We don't want you. You need to go. And I made the joke about how a certain person we know transferred people by writing in transfer papers for them, and they're being transferred without them asking to be transferred. Because that's how you did it, because certain people don't want to leave. I got this great schedule. I can do what I want. I'm just going to sit here and do nothing and get paid all this money. Who cares about you guys? So we ran. Somebody put in a half-sheet memo when he was gone on Monday. It works. Peer pressure, you're a piece of shit, you're a slug, what's wrong with you? And you talk shit to them. They'll leave. Usually they'll leave.
You usually put, like, as a hint, a McDonald's application or a trainee hat for McDonald's or Burger King in their mailbox.
Yep. I remember you told me that you guys made all the trainees fill them out.
Yeah.
It said, just in case, if you guys don't make it here, you can always be a trainee at McDonald's.
Yeah.
That you couldn't do that now.
Yeah.
You couldn't do that now. But I had the guys that would sit behind Builder's Emporium back in the day and run Mary warrants every 30 minutes. And we knew what he was doing. He was trying to get airtime when he wasn't doing anything. And so every time he had to call, he'd never show up. He got talked to, and he left. If you're worried about feelings, you're not even thinking about the big picture is you need those guys in the field.
Yeah. I remember PMs or earlys, like working with Tony about, we'd go 10-8. We wouldn't put ourselves 10-8 because we'd run straight over to 7-6 place and try to get somebody with a rock so we could go.
Yeah, I lived on 7-6.
But over by Hooper side. Over by Hooper side. We used to go 13's 10-8, and then we'd go 13, 10, 15. Just so you could put it out like you just went out and found something right away.
It's like when Federal Friday when we went 10-15 and Federal got all pissed off at us.
Yeah.
I've been out here all day. What'd you say? Hey, you just don't know where to look.
Yeah.
Those are the fun times. We were going back to book, and everybody was still putting their war bags in their trunks. And like, what'd you guys do?
We were up in Doherty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Federal Friday. And we
because he said, make an arrest, you can leave.
10-15, you go home.
We were like 10 minutes in.
We drive back to the temp. What was it?
They hadn't even left.
They were still loading
They
their
hadn't even
cars.
left, and we came back in.
They were loading their cars. We had a body in the back seat, and everybody's yelling at us, why did you find that, man? We just ran out 10-15 felony, ran right back. It was cool. That was hilarious.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he was thanking us all the way back to the station. I have a problem, and I can get rehab. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Okay, thank you. Fun times with you, Ronnie. We had a good time.
I had a good time. I just loved what I did. It was fun.
It's a great time. You got to come back
The
and
only
do it
time
again.
that wasn't is when you had somebody like that just didn't want to work. And
It's the worst thing ever. And I remember when I came back to industry, I said it. I said, you look like you were just miserable. I remember
certain people driving in, just to get somebody to go in the field with you. And I'm going, I gotta stop that car. You're not going to jam him? And I'm like looking as we're going by. And so the next time when I drove, I was pulling over and making him get out of the car all the time.
I did my freeway therapy. I came back to industry and you were there in the seat and I'm looking at it, I go, Ronnie looks like a caged dog. And then I remember I had to work with somebody else and I was going out the field, and you're like, and I said, no, dude, you got to stay and wait for him. You're like, and then we started sneaking out. I go, Ronnie, I got to go do a door knock. I don't have my partner go with me. And then we jump in the car and we get in trouble, start taking people to jail. And it was fun as hell. And then I'd say, oh, no, dude, you got to go back over there with your partner. And then you just made the switch. Said, nah, man, we're going to get back in the car together. And it was fun again. I like that's the way I ended OSS. It was on a good note. Because that bad note in between, and that ending was awesome.
You were at Covenant. We left at the same time, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, but you've always been a media techie, so. Well, your whole family's in the movie industry. And
Yeah.
so
Well, this is why we started this, but it's fun. Get more guys in here, though.
I try. I tell everybody. And they're all, well, I don't know.
I got a steady flow, but I like doing you guys coming back. I want to get Ed Godfrey back. I want to get Guy back. I want to get all the guys
Well,
back.
Ed wants to come back.
We'll do it. But I think two together, and maybe even Guy there. Guy and Ed.
Oh, my God.
That'd be a 4-hour show.
Yeah.
I have to break it into parts.
It's funny because I'd like to get Wilkinson down here.
Wilkie would be
Because
great.
he's got,
Does he still have a stock? Did he give it back?
no, I think he had it,
He kept it?
but I'm not sure. But he, like I said, and him and Angie were both on an apartment.
Yeah.
So,
Where's he live? Where means he close? I don't want to give up where he lives.
no, they're in Naples, Idaho,
Oh.
up in the Panhandle.
Well, I have a lot of people that live outstate say when they come down, they're going to come in.
That's why I want to bring him in and come in because we had some fun in patrol.
Well, I'm just going to put it out there, man. Everybody watching this, get my email in the description and we'll come on out.
Yeah.
I'm always looking for people to come and sit in the seat. If you have a problem with it, that's fine. That's okay.
Yeah.
You can watch.
And if you want to volunteer some time on Iowa, get a hold of Adam to get a hold of me.
Yeah, for sure. Or Dodger Stadium. I got a lot of guys at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah.
But
And then what I like about the Iowa is being someone that never served. I get to talk to so many people that did and stuff. And learning the whole history of the ship, I find myself, people to come up and ask me questions. And I'm like, I know the answer to this. And I can actually explain stuff to them. And then because I take the tours I'll follow along with the tours that are paid. And I learn even more stuff.
Yeah.
And so I'm able to throw
you're going
that
to be
in.
doing
And
tours
they're
soon.
like, wow.
You're
I
going
don't
to
want to
be
do tours.
You're going to be watched. You're going to be doing them.
But I promote, I'll say, oh, you know what? The best, and actually one of the most informative tours is the presidential tour.
Okay.
Because it goes in so much history. D-Day, preparation and stuff like that, where Roosevelt met Stalin and Churchill, and it's just the people that were on that ship that went there.
Yeah, that's why I like the Missouri, because that's where they signed the peace treaty, and they have a marker on the deck of where the table was where they signed. The Japanese signed. The history is amazing.
Yeah. You ever hear of the Willie D, the porter, that actually accidentally fired a torpedo at the Iowa
Oh yeah.
with Roosevelt on board?
Yes, I actually saw that on the History Channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was not good.
So what did the ship's captain do? He turned into it, and so it missed, and that's where they get the turn into it from Hunt for Red October.
Really, turn into it? Okay.
So,
I love this stuff. I'm going to go take a tour.
Yeah, and the porter actually accidentally fired a round in Hawaii that landed right into on the front lawn of the commander's base or
I think,
home.
I think that's the same thing. I did watch that one. They did a whole thing on that guy.
Yeah,
Why didn't they fire him?
because it never existed.
Oh,
No, Franklin Roosevelt said
never happened.
never happened.
Okay.
Said tell everybody never happened,
Uh,
and it never did.
Cool.
But it came out years later.
Yeah, it's because it's funny as hell. Talk to the guys.
I do all the time.
Come on back.
Okay,
All right. Later, brother.
your grip is
Are my,
getting softer.
are my hands supple?
Yeah, your calluses are gone.
I'm leaving that in.